The mattress gave just slightly beneath him, the softness subtle, the kind that invited rather than overwhelmed. The mutinous fingers brushed along the length of my arm, slow, like he was writing something only my skin could read. Before we begin, press the like button and subscribe. It helps more than you know. It started on an otherwise forgettable Thursday. I remember the sky. By indecises a clouds, folding over light like secret spying stashed away. I'd come out of a draining meeting, the kind that leaves you feeling like you're living too much above the surface. So I took a deep turn it to my usual coffee spot, but a smaller cafe tucked into the edge of an old street, the sort of place you only find when your thoughts are elsewhere. Inside, it smelled like earth and roasted bens, like the walls had stories soaked into them. I slid into a booth by the window and ordered a cappuccino. Journal, untouched for months, felt unfamiliar in my hands. Then I noticed at them, two men at the far table. They didn't look related, or even a special like clothes. One had a calm, sun-warmed, energized kind of face you find in some daydreams. Other tense, alert, like every detail mattered to him. I watched them longer than I meant to, until the warm one, Jonna, caught my eye and didn't look away. It wasn't forward, just aware, like he knew something about me I hadn't remembered yet. He blinked and looked down, embarrassed at my reaction, but my hand trembled holding the pen. A few moments later, footsteps approached. He looked up, and there he was, Jonah, standing by my table, a question resting in his smile. Is this seat taken? Logic warned me to say yes, but something inquiet and curious said no. He sat, his voice was like dusk, soft, slow, steady. We exchanged names, casual things, but nothing felt casual. Each answer led somewhere deeper. When I started to forget we were strangers, the other man, Rowan, joined. Yushe nodded slightly, his expression unreal. She seems interesting, he said to Jonah. Jonah gave a small laugh. Mind if we join forces? I grinned a little. Sure. Is this a thing you do? Pick up women in coffee shops only when the moment feels right? Rowan replied, hissed and low, and even it should have felt strange. It didn't. It felt like something unfolding, not forced, just inevitable. Stayed in that booth for over an hour, maybe 2 times, softened around us. Jonah made me feel like I was something melodic. Rowan, like I was worth figuring out. Their energy couldn't have been more different, yet they moved like they were a zed to sharing space, even sharing Lindsay Velta. Jonah looked at his phone, then at me. We're staying at the place across the street. There's a rooftop bar. Great view. Want to come? The would have been to hesitate, but I didn't. I followed. Crossing that street felt like shedding something. The elevator up was quiet, but charged. When Wes stepped onto the rooftop, the city glowed in twilight. Music played, no lyrics, just a rhythm that melted into the evening. We chose a shaded corner as it between them. The cushions sank beneath our weight, but the space between us hummed. Jonah reached for my hand, not a hold, just to run his fingertips across the inside of my wrist. It made something flutter deep in my chest. Rowan, watching, touched my shoulder lightly. Asif, tracing emotion, not skin. I don't know how we slid into that space together, but what did not, rushed, not loud, just slow, unfolding. Every glance, every breath felt deliberate. They moved around me like I was something precious, not claimed, not possessed, but chosen. Every brush off their hands, every shift in closeness felt like a question I was allowed. Tones where Jonah leaned close. You're not what I expected, he murmured, and I felt words more than I heard them. Rowan placed his hand against my back, firm and encouraging. We didn't say much after that. Wu didn't need to body spoke. Fingers whispered. Every touch was thoughtful, respect, aware. It wasn't about rushing to the end, it was about what was Alavain. The middle of their room wasn't grand, but it held us like a secret. The scent of their soap, the warmth of the air between us, the stillness broken only by soft breath. It felt like being suspended in something, where at some point we lay tangled in quiet stillness. No performance, no pretending, just feeling. You okay? Jonah whispered, brushing hair from my face. I nodded, barely able to speak. More than okay. Rowan's head rested beside mine. You feel like summer, he said softly. Stayed like that for what felt like a whole season, wrapped in warmth, to shed be gentleness, unrushed by anything being dead. The momentumine light pushed through the curtains like a Sai, dressed in silence, still touched by, had passed on stairs. Each of them held one of my haunch. Juna pressed a kiss to my fingers.